Hi everyone, I just wanted to give you some pointers about how to start work on your assignment. Now you'll notice when you work through Module 2, it gives you a lot of really good information about a regulatory environment for financial reporting. It'll tell you why you should have regulation and how much. And it will give you some interesting theories about the motivations and the interests behind regulation. But it doesn't exactly tell you what, for example, the Australian regulatory environment looks like. So I thought I'd give you some pointers to get you on your way. Bear in mind, please, that you don't have to select the Australian environment. You can choose a country of your choice. Just make sure that you can get access to the information that you need. So by giving, by example, the Australian environment, that at least gives you some pointers and some tips on where you should look for or what you should look for in the country of your choice. So here's something I prepared earlier. Now, you'll see here in Australia that we have the Corporations Act, which is provided by the federal government. And ACCT is the watchdog that oversees the Act. ACCT is a commission set up by the federal government, and I've provided for you there a quick link to their website. You're probably familiar with the Australian Accounting Standards Board, but you're probably not aware that they're overseen by another commission, the FRC. And they oversee the effectiveness of what the Australian Accounting Standards Board does. And the key things that they provide for us as accountants are the conceptual framework and the Australian accounting standards themselves. And as you'll learn as you progress through this unit, that the framework gives the conceptual integrity to those Australian accounting standards. Up here in the corner, I've made note about the Australian Stock Exchange. They're not a regulatory body, they're actually a company. So they run the stock exchange itself. But because they're Australia's major stock exchange, if you want to list on there, then you have to follow the rules and the guidelines of the Australian Stock Exchange. So they provide some extra requirements above the Corporations Act. Now, that is not by any means an exhaustive list. You should be aware, for example, there is the Australian Auditing Standards Board that you might want to follow. But what I have provided you here are some websites that you can follow. So read through there, reference every site that you go to if you're going to use them in your assignment. So this is a literature review, I should say. And it's not an incredibly academic literature review, so you don't have to have just academic journals. You can use these websites. These are quite reasonable websites to use, but broaden your search out. So broaden your search and also consider how much you can overlay what you learn in Module 2 and for the second part of the assignment in Module 3. So consider whether or not there is evidence in the environment that you find that supports, for example, private interest or public interest theory. Or do you see any evidence of regulatory capture? So there's some guidelines to get you going. I'll leave you with that. I'll put this on the webpage, the Moodle site, which is obviously where you're seeing it now. So good luck for that and happy researching.